Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Heidi from My Reading Life, and I'm here today in the lead up to Christmas to film a book tag. The book tag is the book Postscript Tag 2018. I had to look down at my notes. And the original tag creator was Memento Mori. I will link his original tag video down below. I was tagged by Sean over at Sean the Book Maniac, and I will link his video that he made for this tag down below as well. I'm just going to get right straight into the questions because these are really excellent. The first question is the longest book I read this year, and then the book that took me the longest to finish. So the longest book I read this year was definitely The Count of Monte Cristo by Alexandre Dumas. This is a classic tells a tale of a man who is imprisoned for a crime that he did not commit and then spends the rest of his life exacting revenge on the people who put him in jail. You can see it's humongous. It's like 1,200 pages or something like that. And I read this with Laura Fry. She organized a group read of this book earlier in the year during the summer, and I really enjoyed reading this classic. Now, the book that took me the longest to read was definitely this biography of Andrew Johnson by Hans Trefousse, I think is how you say his name. And the reason why this took me a long time to read is because it was extremely boring. Now, those of you who have been watching my channel for a while will know that I'm working on reading a biography of each president in order. And Andrew Johnson took me, I don't even know how many months this book took me to read. Many months to read. And I am very thankful that it's over with. Question 2, a book that you read in 2018 that was out of your comfort zone. And for that I picked Whereas by Layli Long Soldier. This is a poetry collection. I do not generally read very much poetry at all. This book was a gift to me from Patrice, and we read this together and it was excellent. This author, Layli Long Soldier, is Native American, and these poems are sort of non-traditional poems about the experience of growing up as a Native American in North America, and they were simply excellent. I would highly recommend this to anyone, especially those of you who think you don't like poetry. I think this is a great collection to start with. It has a lot of history and social justice issues wrapped up in it, and it's just extremely well done. I really loved this. Question number 3, how many books did you reread in 2018? I reread 3 books total so far this year, but I'm currently rereading The Stand by Stephen King. I'm listening to it on audio, but it's 44 hours long on audio, and I only started it this week, so I don't think I will finish it by the end of this year. Question 4 is my favorite reread of 2018, and for that it's definitely A Month in the Country by J.L. Carr. I reread this as part of a group buddy read. Sean the Book Maniac pretty much organized that, and then there was a whole bunch of us that participated in it, and I loved A Month in the Country even more the second time around than I did the first time around. And reading it in that buddy read format with lots of people chiming in and expressing their opinions about the book really enriched my enjoyment of it this time and made me gain so much more understanding for what the author was trying to do with that book. I really, really loved that as a reread. Question 5, a book you read for the first time in 2018 and that you look forward to rereading in the future. For that, I am choosing one of my favorite reads. Oops, sorry, hit that camera. A book that I really loved this year, Women Talking by Miriam Toews, Canadian author. This book is all about a Mennonite community in South America where is based on a true event that happened where the women in this community were being drugged and raped. And this book imagines one possible outcome after the women basically decide to maybe do something about what's been happening to them in their community. It's a short little book, but it packs a punch. I absolutely love this book, and I cannot wait to reread it. I hope to reread it in 2019. But a close second for that is a book that I currently don't have a copy of because I read it from the library, and that is I Am by Maggie O'Farrell, another nonfiction This one was her sort of collection of her, I think, 17 brushes with death or something like that. I don't remember the exact number, but each essay in the collection or each section in the collection is of her accounting of a different time that she was close to death, and they are absolutely beautiful. That book just spoke to me, and I cannot wait to reread it in the future. Number 6, what was my favorite single short story or novella that I read in 2018? And for that, I'm going to pick The Yellow Wallpaper by Charlotte Perkins Gilman, I believe, and I will write it up here if I'm wrong on the author's name. That was a short story I read as part of the Autumn Readathon. No, I take that back. I read it during Victober, in October. It was in that same month, but I read that in October for Victober, and I really loved it. I know that's a classic short story. It's often taught in schools, but I had never read it before. About a woman who is basically put on bed rest by her doctor husband after the birth of her child, and is she going mad, locked in this room in a summer estate in the countryside, or is it something else going on? I just really loved that short story. It was really excellently done. Question 7, Mass Appeal, a book you liked and would recommend to a wide variety of readers. It's always hard to pick a book that you think would speak to a wide variety of readers. But for this question, I picked I'd Rather Be Reading, The Delights and Dilemmas of the Reading Life, written by Anne Bogel. Anne Bogel has a podcast and a blog, The Modern Mrs. Darcy, and this is just a collection of short essays all about the reading life, about her love of the library, about how she organizes her reading, about all things about your reading life. And I think anybody who is a reader would find something to delight them in this book. And it's just a nice little copy too that would be a great gift addition for any reader. Question 8, Specialized Appeal, a book you liked but would be hesitant to recommend to just anyone. For that, I'm going to pick a book that I read because it was on the Women's Prize for Fiction list last year, and that is When I Hit You by Mena Kendasamy. This book is about domestic violence, takes place in India, and the protagonist is a young woman who gets caught up with a man and doesn't realize until after she marries him that how abusive he is, and it's all about her experiences dealing with that. And it's difficult to read, but also just very compelling, and a very it's interestingly written. The format of it is interesting, and I really did love this book. And it is not a book that would be for everyone. It is literary fiction, so it is a little bit, it's not as plot driven as, you know, if you're a sort of a person who enjoys plot in your reading, this one's probably not for you. But I really enjoyed this book earlier this year, and I was surprised by how much I enjoyed it. And I think, especially in this day and age with the Me Too movement, this book really speaks to a lot of issues that women are dealing with, and I would recommend it only for some people, but I do recommend this book. Another one that I would recommend here only to some people is a book that I just recently finished and was a 5-star read for me. I listened to it on audiobook, and that's Columbine by Dave Cullen, the nonfiction account that he meticulously researched over 10 years after the Columbine school shooting in Colorado, which happened in the late 90s. And it is simply fascinating. His research and interviews and delving into the minds of the 2 young killers that perpetrated that event was just, I could not stop listening. I wanted to listen all the time. And it is a difficult subject matter. Obviously, school shootings, you know, 13 or 14 people were killed, most of which were kids at the high school and 1 teacher. Lots of kids injured, and injured in a way that was impacting their life forever. You know, it's difficult to read about, but also just fascinating. So if you like true crime books, I think that that one is one that you would really really blow through, because it just, the writing style is just amazing. So would recommend that, but only for some readers. Number 9, reflect on your year as a bookish content creator, such as goals met, good or bad memories, and favorite videos that you made, etc. So this was my first full year on BookTube as a content creator. I've really enjoyed my time spent making videos. I think that I am more comfortable with making content now. I sort of know what I like the most to make and what I don't like so much. I really like making sort of the current and recent reads videos. I personally enjoy watching what people are reading right now or what they've most recently read and their quick reflections on that at the moment. And so I really enjoy making those videos as well. I feel like I'm in conversation with my viewers, and when I watch those videos, I feel like I'm in conversation with those individuals as well. So those are my favorite kinds of videos to make and to watch. I also really enjoyed getting into buddy reads this year. I had so many great experiences buddy reading, read so many books that I probably otherwise would not have read, or at least would not have gotten to so quickly, had excellent conversations, made new friends. I mean, I just can't say enough about how great my experience has been with buddy reads. And then I guess my favorite video that I made this year was my joint review video with Sean over at Sean the Book Maniac of reading Charlotte Wood's The Natural Way of Things. I will try to remember to link that video down below. We did not like that book, either one of us, and I really enjoyed making that rant video with Sean. It was a lot of fun. And I look forward to making more videos in 2019 and watching your videos as well. I love being on BookTube, and I hope to continue it into the indefinite future. And so the last question is to tag people. I have seen a lot of these videos going around, so I think a lot of people are doing them, so I'm not going to tag anyone specifically, but I will say if you're watching this video and you have not done it yet, please do it, and please let me know down below that you've done it, because I think this is a great way to reflect on your 2018 reading year, and I really enjoy seeing everyone's answers. I hope that you are all having a lovely weekend in the lead up to Christmas and the holidays and whatever other holidays you celebrate during this time of year. I am going to leave you with a couple of clips of us cutting down our Christmas tree and then what it looked like after we first decorated our Christmas tree. So I hope you're all doing well, and I will talk to you later.